Hello and welcome. My name is Lexi and today we're going to try out some new makeup that is going to be available at Sephora just in time for the sale. So let's get started. Right now on my skin I have the Koh Gen Do Aqua Foundation in shade 012 and the Westman Atelier blush in Mimi. This shade in particular is exclusive to the Westman Atelier website and it's actually limited edition. So I have to check. I'm not even sure if it's still available right now, but it's a really beautiful, like rosy nude shade. It's my favorite of her blushes. And we're going to start off with the new YSL highlighter. This is in their new line, the NU line, and this is called the Halo Tint Highlighter. And I do have one of their cream blushes in this formula. They're okay. They're just not super long wearing, but I did want to try out the highlighter. It comes in 3 shades. I picked up Rosy Quartz. So let's move in. So this is the highlighter and you can see here that it is going to be a plastic squeeze tube. We're going to just put a little bit on my hand first. And you can see it looks kind of like a Dusty Rose Champagne. So let's spread a little bit of that out. Really pretty. Yeah, actually Dusty Rose Champagne. You know, it's not too pink. I think this is going to be really pretty. So let's just dab a little bit on here. I think that's pretty. And then we're going to put a little bit more on this side here. You know, you could easily mix this into a cream blush or, you know, a liquid blush to make that a shimmery one. This definitely has shimmer, but it's not too sparkly. I don't see glitter. Really pretty. So let me know what you think. I really like this. So we'll see how this wears throughout the day. I'll let you know. I'll have an update at the end of the video. But yeah, I like the way it applies. I like this color. For comparison, this is the Rose Atacama from Hermes. You can see how different that is, how we definitely have more of a soft dusty rose. I think, you know, if you really like shimmery blushes, you could even use this highlighter as a shimmery blush. I would personally add in a little bit of a liquid cheek color though. And this is Westman Atelier's Super Loaded Tinted Highlighter in Peau de Santé. Let's see how that one compares. That's going to be more pink. Let's look at Peau de Rosé. Here's Peau de Rosé. I have to say, I really like the Westman Atelier liquid highlighters. You can see that's more pink. This one actually has some shimmer in it. I don't think I have anything quite this color. I really like this color. I think that's definitely one to look at. We'll see how it wears throughout the day, but based on the color alone, for me, it's definitely something I'm glad to have in my collection. Oh, one last one to look at. This is the Kjær Weis. Also look up the name because can't see it once in the packaging here. You can see that this is going to be more champagne. It doesn't really have so much of the pink. That's actually a little hard to see. So let's make that a little bit bigger of a swatch. You can see it's more soft nude in comparison with the YSL. I believe that one's called Radiance, but I'll have the name on the screen. So just a few things to note off of the box here. This is 15 milliliters of product. It does say on the tube here that you should shake it before use. And there's a 6-month shelf life on here. And I wanted to note this here on the box. It's basically giving you, directions to recycle this product. But there's a little note here that this carton may be collected in your local community, but actual recycling rates in the USA are currently very low. This tube is not currently recycled by municipal recycling programs in the USA. So just something to note there. Yeah, recycling, honestly, most of the stuff we put in recycling does not get recycled. So I just thought it was interesting to see that note there. So let's go ahead and move on to the new Bobbi Brown eye sticks. And these are going to be the same as her normal eye sticks, but in dual form. So I've actually already worn a couple of them. And you can see how they are. So you've got 2 colors on each side. You know, there's no particular pattern. You know, some of these have a matte on one side and shimmer on the other, but that's not true for all of the shades. So you just really want to pick and go through what you would like. So let me start off by swatching the 3 that I picked up. So these are made in Italy. You have 1.6 grams of product, and I have golden pink and taupe on this stick here. And you can see that golden pink is really more of a soft shimmery peach. I don't see any pink in there at all, to be honest. And then this shade here is taupe, and that's going to be your matte shade. You can see it's not truly a taupe either. I would call this a warm beige. There's a little bit of a grayish note in there, but not enough to make it a taupe. Overall, this is pretty warm. And I have noticed with the other two that I've already worn that they run a bit warmer than the promo photos as well. So this one here, we have Pink Mercury, which is a shimmery shade. And you can see that that is a warm shimmery pink, but it's definitely pink there. You can just see that you've got kind of those warmer tones, almost like there's a little bit of orange in there. And then the other side is Nude Beach, which is going to be a little cooler and it's a little rosy. So there's a little bit of pink in Nude Beach. And then the third one I picked up is Pink Steel, which this one looks more taupe. On the eyes, you can see a little bit more of the pink, but it really looks like a beautiful soft fawn taupe shade, a little bit more fawn brown than true taupe. And then on the other side, we have Bark, which is going to be a deep matte espresso brown. So let's go ahead and try out the taupe and golden pink since I haven't used that one yet. Let's go ahead and use finger application completely today. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on kind of the outer half of the eyelid. Just kind of smudging that out. You can see how warm that is. And then on the other half, let's go in with the golden pink. And I'm going to overlap a little bit here in the middle, just past the halfway point. All right, I'm still gonna have to take a little bit of like a clean crease brush. Taking the Sonia-G Crease Pro, and I'm just gonna go ahead and go into the crease a little bit, clean up any errant eyeshadow. Just kind of feather that out a little bit as well. Next, I'm gonna go in with, this is the Esom V27. You can see it's kind of thick there, in the Pink Steel, and I'm going to use this to just line the eyes. So just going to get a little bit on here, and I'm going to go on the lower lash line and probably a little bit on the upper. So that's it for this eye look. I'm going to go ahead and add mascara. I'll see you back in a second. All right, so here's the final look, and let me just talk a little bit about these while I show you the other eye look that I did. And those really wore really well all day. So if you haven't tried the Bobbi Brown eye crayons, you know, eye crayons or eye sticks, whatever you want to call them, they're really kind of in this year. We've seen a lot of them come out from different brands, like Hourglass and Victoria Beckham just released them this year. But I still think that the Bobbi Brown ones are some of my favorites. They're probably still those and the Sicily, I really love the Sicily, but they're probably my favorites because they have, well, the Bobbi Brown have several different finishes. They also have a huge color range, and I find that they perform better than the Laura Mercier. I know the Laura Mercier are kind of like a classic, but I find them to just emphasize lines a little bit more and not last as well all day like the Bobbi Brown. I just prefer them over the Laura Mercier, although they're a really nice eye crayon as well, and they're kind of like the iconic eye stick, but I just personally find the Bobbi Brown work a little bit better on me. So let's go ahead and take a look at a few shade comparisons, and we're going to start off with the shade Mica from Bobbi Brown. So these are the full-size sticks, which you can also still purchase, but you can see Mica is going to be a lot cooler than the shade here in the Bark and Pink Steel. This one here is Espresso, which is pretty similar to Bark, but you can see Bark's a little bit darker, a little bit cooler, and I believe Espresso is in one of the duos now. So there are some repeat shades. unfortunately, I don't really, well, actually, fortunately, I guess, I don't really have any repeat shades. This one here is Sunrise Pink. And you can see that Sunrise Pink is very, very similar to Pink Mercury. Pink Mercury is perhaps a little bit more like of a corally pink, whereas Sunrise Pink is slightly cooler, but it has, Sunrise Pink has like gold shimmer on top, whereas Pink Mercury actually has a little bit more orange in the formula, and then there's pink glitter on top. So that's a little bit of a difference there. And then I also want to take a look at a few of the Victoria Beckham eye sticks. This one here is Caramel. And yeah, that doesn't really go with any of these. I was thinking it might, but not really. Then we have, this one should be Pecan, I believe. Yes, Pecan. This is the deep brown from Victoria Beckham. And you can see it's not deep enough to be compared to Bark. And compared to this taupe shade here, it's going to be much more brown. They're both kind of like a warm brown, but the Bobbi Brown shade has, that's this shade here, taupe. And Bobbi Brown, that one has more gold in it, more yellow. And then last up, we have Trench. So this is Trench from Victoria Beckham, and you could see my thing went flying out. It's not actually from the stick, it's from my daughter. She broke the stick, but just so you know, that you can see that this doesn't quite match up with any of them either. So let's go ahead and move on to lips. We're going to take a look at the new Merit lip oils. These are called the Lip Gelees. They're going to be more sheer, but they are the same formula as the classic Merit lip oil, which is like your traditional lip gloss. I have to say I really like their lip glosses. I just haven't loved the color selections, but I really liked these. So I picked up all 4. All right, so just a little bit about the Merit lip oils while we take a look at the lip swatches. According to them, it says it's a wash of moisturizing color for healthy lips all day, now in an ultra sheer finish. So these are going to be pretty much sheer. You really don't see much color. There's just a little bit of a tint. I actually think they're really nice, very comfortable on the lips. If you are not really into wearing a lot of makeup, this is a minimalist beauty line. So, that definitely fits with their aesthetic, but this is just great for spring, summer, carrying your purse, top off your lipstick and so forth. Add a little bit of color on top of a fading lipstick. So I really like it. Now these are clean beauty. They are vegan and cruelty free. And we have 7 milliliters of product here. The lip oils are made in the US and they have an 18-month shelf life. And I have to say, I find them to be really comfortable. They definitely feel more like a little bit more of a lip oil with a little bit of gloss mixed in. So definitely more on the oily texture versus the thicker gloss style texture. So it's gonna be a thin, lightweight product, but it's not so oily that it feels like it's migrating all over the place. So definitely stays put well. Let's do some quick arm swatches. So this one here is Jeté, and this is kind of, just a very sheer, light, peachy shade. You can see it's actually going to be a soft pink with a touch of peach. Very soft. Think of like the, like a really soft, light pink flower petal coming up. That's what it makes me think of. And it's really beautiful. It's actually going to be a little bit on the cooler side with just a touch of that warmer peach mixed in. So this is actually a cool shade. And then moving on from there, we have Les Deux, which, in here it looks kind of like a neon coral kind of shade. But you can see here that this is really going to be another soft pink, but this is going to be the warmer counterpart to Jeté. So this one's just gonna be a little bit warmer, but it's still, it's neutral, actually. It's not that warm. And again, just a really beautiful shade, kind of like that nude pink, very sheer light wash of color. And then following that, we have Maraschino, which, looks like a beautiful soft red. As you could see in the lip swatches, it's very light though. You don't really see red. This is just gonna look like a little bit of a deeper pink. But if you look at it where it's built up, you can definitely tell it's a sheer red here. And this is going to be a neutral red. And then last up, this is the one that's on my lips now. This is Mapleton. So in here, it looks kind of like almost like a berry brown. And that's kind of what you get. It's kind of like nude, but you can see like a touch of plum on the lips. It actually reminds me a bit of like a macerated like plum or something like that, like the interior of a plum, not the outside. So these are the 4 shades. I think they're really pretty. I like the texture. And yeah, I have to say, I think these are a really nice product if you are looking for a sheer lip gloss. One other thing I want to note about these is that there is no fragrance listed in the ingredients. So overall, we took a look at several new items that are launching or have already launched at Sephora, and they'll be available just in time for the sale. The sale starts on April 14th for Rouge. I'll have all that information down below in the description box. And I also have a very lengthy, detailed guide as to my recommendations that are available at Sephora. This guide will be helpful not only for the Sephora sale, but also just for items that are carried by Sephora that you might see at other retailers. And we'll talk more about the Sephora sale in another video, but I do hope this was helpful. And I would love to know your thoughts. So definitely chime in down below. And thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.